Florina, I want to pick up on a point that we were making earlier on. I've been involved in prosecuting cop cases as a prosecutor, and it's difficult. No matter what anybody says, you work very closely with police officers. There's a lot of symbiotic connection. You work a lot of crimes and cases, and there are times as a prosecutor when you're going after a police officer that they are not all too happy about it. Is this that kind of case, or is this one as a bridge too far even for that typical dynamic?
Look, this isn't some mild indiscretion by a police officer. This is a serial killer who murdered multiple people. I don't think anyone has any hesitation about prosecuting somebody like that. In other cases where maybe the conduct is less egregious, if there's some sort of personal relationship with the police officer or camaraderie, oftentimes there may be a conflict of interest, and a separate prosecuting office will take over the case to avoid even that appearance of a conflict of interest. But at the end of the day, prosecutors take an oath, just like law enforcement officers do, to protect and to serve and to act fairly and reasonably under the circumstances. And their duty is to prosecute anyone who violates the law. And that's exactly what these prosecutors are doing.
And Maria, I'm again not trying to cast aspersions. I'm a police supporter, and I think I've been known for that both on the network and as far as my career. However, there have been instances in which I literally was walking down a hallway on a murder case that clearly was not justified, an off-duty murder case, and I had lines of cops rode up that were that lined up on both sides of a hallway, kind of pushing, oh, sorry, sir, excuse me, holding the door back. I mean, I know, and I agree with what Florina's saying, but still, nevertheless, there sometimes can rally around the troops irrespective of how bad a situation is. Have you ever experienced something like that?
I have experienced it, and let's face it, police officers have an inherently built-in validation that they're honorable and honest. And it is sort of like an implicit bias in favor of a police officer. When you take the oath, people expect that you're going to do your job and you're not going to be lying and you're not going to be killing people. That's just what police officers are not supposed to do. Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes the bias is there just off the fact that they're police officers. And that's that.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't have to get to a point in training where we say to police officers, murdering people because you're acting as a vigilante is something that's frowned upon. We're going to take a quick break.